Hello and welcome to the Game Week 23 late mail edition. And yes, we are going live at 6 o'clock because of the fact that we are going to do at the very end of this stream, for anyone that's interested, we're going to do a live Footium watch along right at the end of the stream at 7 p.m. Literally, my game is about to kick off then. So I've got 59 minutes to get through everything. So let's not waste any time whatsoever and just get straight into it. So with a little bit of luck, hopefully I've got this correct. Let's have a look. Yep, that looks pretty good. And if you haven't already, please smash a like. If you enjoy the content, you're enjoying everything else, please also consider subscribing as well. And that being said, ladies and gents, let's get straight into it. All right, so what does the team look like for Game Week 22? It went all right. Obviously, Gabriel captain was the big thing. And I saw a lot of comments coming in the team selection today, basically saying that a lot of people followed my advice and didn't captain Haaland last week, and all of a sudden ended up on a green arrow. So look, that probably was one of the big reasons why probably a lot of people got a green arrow last week, is because of the fact that you didn't captain Haaland. If you captain Haaland, you might have been on a red, realistically. Anyways, we're up to 1.4 million. 20 points on the bench feels a little bit rough. And look, Sanchez versus Bart Simpson, that felt very rough. A 9-point swing. And to be honest, if I'd got that extra 9 points, I'd almost be inside the top 1 million teams. So like, I am coming. It's been a slow climb, but we're getting closer step by step. Obviously, there's a few issues this week with Bruno Guimaraes obviously doing his ankle midweek. We're going to talk about that and all that in amongst all the other good stuff. But yeah, 56 points was not the worst week in the world in Game Week 22. And hopefully we can continue on moving on. By the way, anyone that's joining, hello to the chat. We should not have any buffering tonight, so there's no need to come back and watch it. You'll be able to get involved in the live show. And yeah, with a little bit of luck, I've been testing a few things behind the scenes while putting together all this stuff. So hopefully it looks pretty damn nice. All right, so on to the flop and star of the week. Obviously, the flop had to be Bart Simpson. Picking him over Sanchez was just a disaster. Like, to be honest, I read Luke in the WhatsApp chat before. Chelsea was so lucky to keep a clean sheet, but like sometimes you just need luck on your side. And if I was playing Chalobah, I really should have just doubled down and just played Sanchez as well. But stupid idiot old me thought, let's just hope that the Simpsons are having a day off, and played him instead. So that's probably more on me than Bart Simpson. But I mean, he did give away the penalty and he was just crap, let's be fair. And then Gabriel, he had to be the star. I mean, I backed him in. I'd said on the deadline stream, he had a base of at least 6 points. And I was like, in theory, if he's playing Nottingham Forest, he should get the DC. In fact, if anything, I felt I was a bit disappointed with Gabriel because I thought he'd get the DC against Nottingham Forest, but he didn't. And like, they literally give up DC to everyone. But alas, yeah, it is what it is. So, but yeah, 8 points. You got to take that as your captain. I mean, lots of people, the majority of people had 2 points from their captain. So getting 8 was a nice little win. And it's about time I got a win with captaincy because I feel like I've been picking good captains and just not getting the reward for effort. And I feel like this week was a return to a little bit of form in terms of picking differential captains. So on to the fixture difficulty rating then for 23 to 28. And look, I'm not going to lie. When I put this together earlier in the week, I was so tempted to turn everyone grey. Like legit, I was tempted to turn everyone grey. Why? Because you just don't know from week to week which team's going to show up, what the result's going to be. And we'll have a look at my predictions later on in the show. But I tell you what, this week it's proven so hard to work out like who's going to win. And like for that basis, if you don't know who's going to win, it makes benching decisions so much harder because you just don't know which way the result's going to go. So, for example, Everton Leeds, classic case this week. Leeds not as good away from home, but they're no pushover. Like, so in theory, I'm sitting there, and at the moment, I've got Tarkowski captain right. Like, because he plays in the last game of the game week, I feel like there could be a clean sheet on. That game could literally go one of two ways. It could be a 0-0. It could be one of three ways, actually. It could be 0-0, or Leeds could win it by a goal, or Everton will win it by a goal. It's not going to be high scoring. We know that for a fact. Both teams are not banging goals for fun. So we know it's going to be low scoring. It's just a matter, have I got it right? Do I think Everton are going to do the business? That's what it comes down to. And in the end, I'm looking at Man City right. Like Man City, awful last weekend in the derby. They were awful midweek against Bodo Glimt away as well. And they've got Wolves at home. In theory, that should be a nice fixture. But we've seen from Wolves recently, outside of Man United, who went there under Ruben Amorim and somehow walked away with a 4-1 win, no one's been beating them. Like, they've been defending perfectly fine. They're not getting spanked like 2, 3, 4 goals at a time. They're losing by the odd goal. Like, in theory, maybe that shouldn't be a dark green fixture. Maybe, I don't know what it should be, to be honest. But, like, I look at the fixtures, and in theory, Chelsea should have the easiest, right? The next 6 weeks, 5 weeks at least. Crystal Palace not far behind. Aston Villa, ditto. Then it really just depends on how well you happen to view each team. Because, like, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And I don't personally know. I mean, like, I look at Fulham, right? Like, Fulham are in pretty, like, they're not horrible form, not amazing form, but, like, they're in decent form. But, like, I look at their fixtures and I'm like going, they haven't got anyone stupidly easy. Like, in theory, on paper, they haven't got anyone stupidly easy. But, like, I don't think they've got the second worst lot of fixtures in the league, but according to this, they do. Like, it's so hard to pick. And I feel like this season in general, it's really come down to form rather than fixture. I think the fixture's been overplayed by a lot of content creators, probably including myself. And for that reason, I just think that we need to start thinking about it a bit more and just going with the teams that are in form rather than the teams that we think, oh, they're playing Burnley. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, are Spurs really going to beat Burnley this weekend? I feel like there's more people would have more faith playing Dubravka over Vicario this weekend. Like, that's just ridiculous when you think about it. Burnley are 19th. They're going to get relegated. They're just not going to get relegated by much. Anyways, hot off the press of Game Week 23, moving on to some happier things. So on to Sunderland. Talby and Diarra are back from AFCON. I don't know if they won. I can't remember. I did read that, but I've forgotten off the top of my head. Traore and Masuaku are definitely both out. On to Chelsea. Now, this was frustrating news more than anything. I thought Jorgensen was kaput for a while, so I didn't have to stress about Sanchez. But Jorgensen apparently could be back from the Napoli fixture midweek post the weekend, which is not ideal, because I was shocked that he started in the Champions League, to be honest with you, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? Palmer apparently is in a good place, so you'd imagine he plays. Enzo, Giddens, Delap and Estevao, they're over their illness. Apparently it was a pretty bad illness because it's been knocking the Chelsea team for 6. The rest they're injured or in doubt or whatever, they still all remain out. In terms of West Ham, Paqueta will be out again. And I feel like Nuno was a bit sick when talking about Paqueta in his press conference. It basically said we have to deal with the situation. So I don't know what that means for that, but yeah, it is what it is. Juve is obviously back from AFCON as well. Then he talked about knocks, but didn't name any players that had knocks. He just said that the team has knocks. And then he talked about Wilson having an opportunity. Obviously, he came off the bench last week, scored the winner against Spurs. They were looking to sell him. Now maybe he's an option. Who really knows what's going on there? In terms of Burnley, Fleming and Worrell, they've been training this week. Fleming is behind Worrell. So Worrell started training earlier in the week, so you'd imagine Fleming might not make this game. Estev should be fine. There was no other news in relation to team news. On to Leeds, Stack could be back after missing last week. Bonawate, this is good news for Aronson owners, if there's any Aronson owners out there. Apparently he needs to build his fitness before he's going to be available for selection. So I dare say, if he's available, it's going to be off the bench rather than starting. Then there's concerns for Goodmanson, who's got an abductor concern, and Bujol is going to be injured, I believe. I think he's going to miss this game. In terms of Liverpool, Slot was very non-committal on starting the Mo Salah, even though he started midweek. Some of these managers are just so frustrating to listen to. Anyways, Canado's going to be missing for personal reasons, so he's definitely not going to be playing. And Chiesa is 50-50 for tomorrow. So that's pretty much all the news I can give you out of there. If I was to hazard a guess, if you've still got Mo Salah, if you're one of the dead teams, he's probably going to play. On to Brighton, Minte needs managing at the moment, so he's not going to be playing 90 minutes. In fact, I'd say, based off what Herzler said there, he's probably going to be starting on the bench. Wafer remains out. So he's still got a toe injury. Must have broken his toe, because why are you out with a toe injury for that length of time? I don't know. De Kuiper's back after illness as well. And there's potential for Costello, who obviously scored that amazing overhead kick to win the game week in game week 22. There's potentially, he's pushing for a start. So that's not good news for Danny Welbeck owners either, let's be fair. So on to Crystal Palace. Munoz is back. He was back in training at the beginning of the week, so you'd imagine he will be fine for the weekend. Sar's also back from AFCON. Basically, Glasner said he's a winner, so that's good news, I suppose. He should be on a high, you'd like to hope. Mateta is also going to play. And the move for him is definitely nowhere near as advanced. Now, Aston Villa are involved with him, and I've got some news on that tonight, that Tammy Abraham, here we go, Fabrizio Romano reported. So maybe that's a sign that Mateta is no longer going to Aston Villa, because I don't think they're going to have Watkins, Abraham and Mateta. Maybe Man United sweep him with a 15 mil offer, you never know. On to Wolves, Jorgen Strand-Larsen, there's a bid in for him, but he'll also be on the squad tomorrow. I dare say he's been starting on the bench. I think he'll start on the bench again. Bellegarde and Gomez are still out. On to Bournemouth. Now, the big news for all those FPL review users that brought Tavernier in last week for his penalty, he's out. He's not going to be showing up for Liverpool. He might not even show up for the game week after. There was no timeline given for his injury, other than Iraola basically said sometime. That's the most unhelpful nonsense you ever hear in your life on a press conference, but that's what he said. New signing Toff is available. I believe he's a midfielder. What does that mean for Creepy Jr.? who really knows? On to Aston Villa. Now, Bailey has come back from loan from them. I didn't think I'd be reading that out this week, but he has, and he's going to be available for the squad against Newcastle. Barkley's getting close, but he's still out. Sancho and Onana are back. They were back midweek. Sancho actually scored the winner that produced the passage through to the whatever round it is for Aston Villa. Kamara, McGinn and Barkley, they're all out. On to Fulham. Tede and Muniz are on the grass. Muniz is not that close. Tede is close. Lukic is out 4 to 5 weeks. Emile Smith-Rowe suffering with fatigue, but he should be okay. And then Iwobi, Bassi and Chukwueze are back from AFCON and should be available this week. On to Spurs. Bergvall is out with an ankle. Unlucky if you've got him. I don't think anyone's got him. No one's got Spurs assets, surely, other than Van de Ven. Polinia remains a doubt. Solanke is back and back on the score sheet. After I called him out for a one-week punt, the dude, I don't even know how he scored that goal. Like, legit, he was just, it's like a witch's hat got hit at full speed, and it just somehow went in. Solanke knew nothing about it. Xavi and Udogi, they're all good as well. And then, obviously, on to Nottingham Forest. Murillo and Jesus, the Timu, the Igor, the Jesus, he missed midweek. Well, they both missed midweek. So, Murillo missed with hamstring tightness, and Jesus was doing a bit of a Timu and just saying he was sore, had a sore hip, and he missed. There was no news on whether they'll be available for the weekend. Wood and John both remain out. So, unfortunately, if you've got John, yeah, I don't know how long he's going to be out for. On to Manchester United, De Ligt remains out with a setback. I mean, the setback happened before Carrick came in, but like legit, that's the news we're getting from them. He should be ready to go in a couple of weeks with a little bit of luck. It's meant to be some sort of a back injury, but to be honest, who cares? He discussed forward options. Cunha, Šeško, very happy with. They're not going to play against Arsenal. He's literally just feeding their egos so he can bring him in against Fulham. If you bought in Dorgu, you're getting the Arsenal game, but then I reckon he's benched the week after. That's my gut feel on that one. I don't know why people have bought him in. Mazraoui's back, so hopefully that's the end of Diego Dalot, because Xerxes out for a couple of weeks. So if Dalot can lose his spot to Mazraoui, the D-Unit will be exceptionally happy on Sunday night, but I'm not holding my breath. I feel like Mazraoui might start back on the bench. On to Arsenal. No injuries or issues reported post the Inter game. Hincapié and Calafiori have trained this week. They'll see tomorrow. Well, Arteta says he'll see tomorrow whether they can be assessed for the squad. My gut feel is one of them will play and Timber will be back at right back. That's just my gut feel. On to Manchester City. Nunes has still got a virus. There's some weird rumours going around about Nunes. I'm not going to talk about him because until we hear Pep basically say one thing or the other, it's rude to speculate, so I'm not going to. Gay, he's going to start. Basically said he was a great signing. Foden does have broken bones in his hand, which maybe alludes to the fact that potentially he might actually be benched. I don't know. I'm hoping he is because obviously I've sold him for Bruno, but yeah, it's one of them ones where you just got to hope for. Newcastle, there's hopes around Bruno G's ankle and making it for Sunday. I can put a red line through Bruno G. There is no way that he's going to be playing on Sunday. Like, I saw the injury. I saw him hobble along. If he somehow recovers for Sunday, He must be seeing someone that's got the ultimate powers of recovery, because I just don't see it, how he's going to do it. On to Everton. Gahian and Dye literally have just come back into the club today. They're being assessed by the medical team to see if they can feature. My gut feel is they'll both feature on Monday night. Grealish, there's a foot stress fracture, so it looks like Ndiaye will hop back onto his favoured left-hand side. That would be good if you want to go there, I suppose. Maybe he's come out of the grave. Maybe I'm even considering what's wrong with me. Others are close. And finally, on to Brentford. They came through Chelsea with no issues. Henderson's back on the grass, and there is hope. There is hope, ladies and gentlemen, that he could be available for the trip of Nottingham Forest on Sunday afternoon. So the essentials this week has to be Thiago. Thiago versus Nottingham Forest is 100% essential this week. If you don't have him, that is the one player this week where I sat there and I was like, doing the essentials is always a little bit risky, because like sometimes it can go pear-shaped, right? Like the last week I think I had Rice, Bruno G and Gabriel. Gabriel was obviously essential. Rice did nothing. Bruno G got nothing. They only got the clean sheet points. This week, I feel Thiago's essential. I just feel like he's going to dominate this week, and I think it'd be silly to go without him, is my gut feel. I actually think he's a legitimate captaincy debate. We'll get into that a little bit, but I think that he's definitely an option. Rice, again, I know he hasn't done much, but he's been rested midweek. Against Man United, he's 100% getting the DC contribution. So he's sitting on at least a 4 points this week if they lose the clean sheet. He's on all those set pieces. Like, there's just... Man United concede set pieces. We also score from them. So I think Rice is just a must. He's a must this week. And also Chalobah. Now, Crystal Palace, I believe, are in a little bit of free fall. Glasner's literally rocked the club. You can make up your minds whether you believe me or not about Chalobah being essential. But if he's not essential this week, he's been rested midweek for the first time in God knows how long. And the way Chelsea played, this dude is due an attacking return. He's due an attacking return. And this might be the week. This might be the week. I know it's a controversial last essential, but I really feel like Chalobah's essential moving forward. He's the one Chelsea player that I think everyone needs to invest in. So on to the treats. Now, this is going to be a little bit... I don't know, people are sitting there like... I've been copping it all week about I should be starting Mukiele in front of Bowen. If Sunderland were playing West Ham at home, I'd be benching Bowen and playing Mukiele, and Mukiele would be right there in the treat section. But it's away from home, which means that Jared Bowen instead is in the treat section. Now, no one should be making a forward transfer, but you've got Jared Bowen. You're playing him against Sunderland this week because West Ham are going to score, and I reckon Jared Bowen is due an attacking return. Tarkowski, I know Everton have been getting the clean sheets away from home, but I feel like it's inevitable they will keep one at home relatively soon. And I reckon it's probably Leeds. Like, of all the teams to come, I've just got pretty good confidence in captaining Tarkowski on Monday night. So for that reason, Tarkowski, I think, is definitely a treat. And then the other one, of all the City players I think you should own this week and play, it is Semenyo. Like, Semenyo, for me, is by far and away the best City pick this week. And I also think that he is realistically the best City captain as well. Like, I really feel like Semenyo... Like, I've weighed up taking a hit to bring him in and then benching Bruno Fernandes. Like, I've legit weighed that up, and I'm not ruling it out. It potentially could happen, but like, I just feel that he's a treat this week. So on to the traps, and this is going to be controversial, right? But the D-Unit has strong opinions, and I won't back down from them, and sometimes I'll get them right, like last week with Dirty 0 Point Dom, let's be fair. That's got a special segment later on in the show. Make sure you hang around for that, because that's going to be biblical on Gary View. But essentially, I think the trap this week is Haaland captain. So many people sit there. It's like sitting there when you look in the bank, right, and you go, oh, I've got $50 and I can afford to... I can afford that book that costs like $49 rather than the softback that costs like $20. What are you going to do? You're going to buy the hardback for $49 every single time. I feel like that's what it is of Haaland. People are sitting there going, 15.1 mil. He's got Wolves at home. I've got to captain him. I think it's a trap. Like, I've just put my hands up. I've not had the captaincy on him all week long. And post the Champions League, There's no way I'm moving to Carlin captain. Enzo Fernandez as well. I believe that he is a trap. I feel like Cole Palmer's playing the Premier League games, and based off what we've seen from Rosinya, whatever you want to call his name, when Palmer plays, Palmer's in the 10, Enzo's playing further back. Is that good? The answer is no. He doesn't get the DC contributions. I actually think Caicedo's a far better pick than Enzo over the next 4 weeks. That's just my gut feel. Take it for what it's worth. Ignore it, whatever. I just think he's a trap. And Van de Ven, this is for all those people that bought him last week. 100% a trap. 100% a trap. Burnley is scoring against Spurs this week. I will be unbelievably shocked if Spurs keep a clean sheet against Burnley. So on the first 1 week punts this week. And look, Collins has the nice fixture. The dude is a DC boss. He's going to get 10 plus points this week. Just straight up. I'm very confident in Collins again. The last time I picked him, he got 13 points in this position. I really believe he's going to get at least 10 again this week. I think he's going to be great. Now, the fixtures obviously post this week, not ideal until Burnley in 28, but they're not horrible. Like, he's going to get the DC more often than not. He's got it 12 times in 22 games, so he's pretty decent. James Garner makes it in the midfield. Like, obviously, these have got to be under 10% owned, so that's why certain players are not here. But James Garner, I think he's going to be great. I don't see any world where he doesn't get at least 4 points this week. And if he gets an attacking return, he's probably in double figures. So again, he's a really good option. And for what he costs, he's dirt cheap, like 5.2 million. I keep saying to myself, I'm like going, I don't need to buy like the Bruno Guimaraes and stuff. I could just go and buy a Garner. He's going to get me 4 points every week. It's not exciting, but maybe that's the way forward. I don't know. Marmoush, though, if ever there was a 1 week punt, I'm 95% sure he starts tomorrow. I'm very confident Marmoush starts tomorrow. And if he starts, he's returning. No one's on a free hit this week anyway, so it's a bit stupid here and there. But I think Marmoush will be unbelievably good this week. I think he's a really good asset. For a 1 week punt, he's my differential in the pubcast as well. I just think he's going to be great. And in terms of the forwards have been crap this year, ladies and gentlemen. But Jared Bowen, he's the best of a bad lot. And there's a reason why he's in the top 4 forwards in the game, because he returns more often than not. And even if he's not scoring, even if he's not getting an assist, he's getting the DC. 3 times he's got the DC. I mean, what has this season become? The Jared Bowen, we're relying on Jared Bowen to get the DC in order to get points in FPL as a forward. It's criminal. It's criminal. The more I think about it, the more criminal it is. So the best captains in game week 23, these are my top 8 in no particular order. In fact, I actually tell you the order I think that they should be in. I think Semenyo is probably the best captaincy shout this week. I think he'll play 90 minutes. He's averaging 5.8 points per game. He's fresh. He can't play midweek. I just think he's the best. I'd be shocked if he doesn't play 90 minutes. Whether he returns or not is a different story. Man City aren't exactly playing well, but I just think he's really good. In at number 2, I've got Tarkowski. Now, this sounds ridiculous, I know, backing in an Everton defender, but I've done the analysis, and like when you look at the points per game, he's averaging 4.9 points per game. If he gets the clean sheet, which I think he does this week against Leeds, he's probably looking at least 10 points. So for Haaland to beat him, and let's be fair, that's where most people are going to go, even though he's only scored a penalty goal in the last 8 weeks. But lots of people will go there because we've got a lot of sheep in the world, and they like eating grass and fattening up and then getting their sheds coated or shorn off or whatever you want to call it. I just like him. I think Tarkowski's the pick. He plays in the last game of the game week. There's a lot to get excited about. Now, I did have it on Wilson to begin with, and I think Wilson's a very good option this week as well. I think Brighton concede goals, and he's just in the form of his life. Again, he's averaging 5 points per game as well. Like, all these options on here this week are good options. Like, I've not picked a red herring in here that you'd be like, why have you picked him, you idiot? They're all averaging, the lowest is Bowen on 4.2 points per game, which, again, is not horrible either. And then you got Rice and Gabriel. FYI, people wondering why I've been captaining Gabriel, Look at the points per game. 7.5 for Gabriel now, 7.5 for Haaland. The dude is matching Haaland. If he'd played as many games as Haaland, I reckon Gabriel's on a higher points per game. He's literally got 10 clean sheets from 15 starts. Now, I do think Man United score this week, which is why I haven't captained him. But, yeah, again, Rice could be an option as well. Thiago's a very good option. Against the Nottingham Forest team that played in Europe, lost, and is not in very good form in the league, he could be exceptional. Like, he might actually be the one that I'm overlooking here and putting down the... I've got him in at number 3. I've got 4 numbers, sorry. I've got Semenyo, Tarkowski, Wilson, then Thiago in my pecking order. I've actually got Haaland last. I don't think Haaland's a good captaincy option at all. Other options you could consider if you owned him, Palmer, the DCL unit, if you believe that Leeds are going to beat Everton, which I don't think they're going to do. Sade's also a good option. Then if you want to look at Liverpool, I suppose you could, but in reality, do you have any confidence going there? I mean, Wirtz has been pretty good in the league, but I've got no confidence backing in a Liverpool player, let's be fair. So on to a wildcard draft. Now, I've only concluded this because of the fact that some people are considering it. This is where I'd go. I would actually captain Semenyo this week. I'd vice-captain Tarkowski. I'd be going double Chelsea defence, double Arsenal defence. Mukiele's the cheap option. I'd be going double Brentford attack because I really like that. Double Brentford attack just reminds me last season of Visser and Mbumo. And I had so much success with Visser and Mbumo last year that I feel like if I was wildcarding now, I'd go back to Sade and Thiago because I just feel like there's a lot of points to be had there. Caicedo's the midfielder I'm picking because I just think he plays all the games. I don't see a world where he gets benched unless he gets injured. So I think that he's the one that I want more than Enzo, more than Palmer. And you know that his floor is going to be 4 points every week, pretty much. So, yeah. I've still got Haaland as well because, like, where are you going to spend the money if you don't have him? Like, and then the bench is stacked. The bench is literally stacked. You can sit there. Sanchez and Henderson rotate really well in goals. I'm just backing in Chelsea over Crystal Palace this weekend. But I reckon that's where I would go if I'm on wildcard in game week 23. Something like that. Obviously, you need a little bit of team value. I've got very good team value, so this draft was well affordable for me. Only came in at 105.8 million. And I think I had a 1.2 million left over when I put it together. But yeah, it's wildcarding now is just difficult because I feel like we could easily make errors between now and game week 25 with the players we buy, and then we're just going to be left with these holes we're going to have to like get rid of out of our teams, and that does not feel very good at all. If I'm being brutally honest, it just doesn't feel very good at all. And to be honest, post this week against Wolves, I think Semenyo is an option, but I think this week he's an amazing option. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, on to the FPL confessional. How many of you people are captaining Haaland this week? I'm checking that. I put in a poll before. 57% no, so 43% here are still captaining Haaland. I mean, what points are you hoping for? Have you watched him of late? Have you watched Man City play? He's been awful. Man City have been awful. I know he's got a very good record against Wolves. He's also got a very good record in Norway against Bodo Glimt. Literally. Oh, there goes my microphone. Thank you very much, Luke. I just seen that. Shake myself to the wig, mate. Yeah, the hair's coming back, but not quite quick enough. But we will get there. Soon, I'll be like Timu, Jesus, and Haaland with the long locks flowing behind me, let's be fair. But to be honest, so many people captained him last week against Man United. Like the early kickoff. What have we learned in FPL? Never captain in the early kickoff. Never captain in the early kickoff. And I feel like a lot of people got it wrong. Like Man United, they're a frustrating team. They don't show up against the teams you would expect them to just wipe the floor of. They show up against the teams that you'd expect them to struggle, and they beat them. It's just been the story of their season, to be honest. All right, I'm going to have a look in the chat really quickly, answer a few questions before we get on with the second half of the show. Yeah, I'm on Semenyo captain. Very nice. He paid the tickets for fans when they lost. He'll return to make that money. That's very fair. What else we got here? What else is in the chat? For what it's worth, it's good form with Salah return. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Wirtz. I feel like Salah is going to impact his minutes. I'm happy to keep him for now, but like he is on the chopping block for me moving forward. Keller and Thiago going to return again. Yeah, I would agree with that. I hope Haaland blanks again. Yes, please make sure you like the stream as well. Yep, and join the WhatsApp group. Luke's been peddling it in there. It's free to join. Murat, look at that sexy badge. He's got the D-Unit logo badge. Good man. Get the hands up for Yoda. Yoda's currently leading the Footium competition as well. We're going to cover that later on in the stream, but he's doing well. He started really well. Creed. Just reading through a few other things here. Jury still put me for whether to captain Haaland, Semenyo. Also to bench Sake or Mane. I'll be benching Mane, I think, there. 100%. I'll be playing Saka all day long. Saka will start against Man United. I'd be pretty shocked if he didn't. I'm on Semenyo. A lot of people on Semenyo. Smart. Actually, a really smart captaincy. I really feel of all the players I'm scared of not owning this week, it is Semenyo. I feel like I sold Foden, I'm benching O'Reilly, and I'm just all in on just City sucking. Which is literally where I'm at the moment. Semenyo versus Thiago. Wilson, should I captain? To be honest, all three of them are really good options this week. D is my boy, gives as good as he gets, exactly. It's Marmoush, also a tasty captain this week. I think that Marmoush, if he starts, is an unbelievable captain this week. Darlow for a punt, apparently he's going to keep his spot as well moving forward, according to Daniel Farke. What games are you streaming? This weekend, we won't be doing the early kickoff, but we'll be doing all the 3 p.m. games. The 3 p.m. games will be carrying on to do Bournemouth versus Liverpool. We'll then be doing on Sunday the 2 p.m. games and carrying on with Arsenal versus Manchester United as a standalone. Captain Gabriel Haaland. It have to be Gabriel for me. Let's go, Shane. I'm trusting Haaland the next time I captain Haaland will be in 3 game weeks. Fair. I'm still annoying with myself for chickening out last week. Yeah, legit. It's just one of them things. My team's looking pretty good, baby. Looking pretty good. So yeah, let's carry on. So the pubcast, I mean, how Gary keeps getting away with this is just criminal. Criminal. He's not getting away with it this week. Romero's not returning this week. Gary View's going to be in the bin this week. And wait till you see the segment I've got coming up, folks, because it's definitely worth hanging around for. Yeah. I mean, he got lucky. I mean, Bart Simpson, it was one of the softest penalties I've seen from VAR this season. In fact, I actually think it was the softest penalty I've seen given. But he got another 8 points. He's on 63 points. There's almost 20 points in front of me. He's 18 points. I need a big haul. I need Marmoush to get a hat-trick against Wolves. Get me right back in it. I mean, Trig picking Saboz. We'll talk about dirty 0-point Dom in a minute. I just thought it was funny last week when you picked him. When that happened, I've streamed a lot of games, right? I've streamed a lot of content. That has to be up there, I reckon, in the top, that might even be the best moment I've ever streamed. Like the fact that happened after I've been saying he's been rubbish for the last 6 weeks and that happening was just the start. You could not write that any better than the way it played out. All the analytics crowd hoping for the penalty share. The penalty gets given. The problem is you've got to score the penalty, ladies and gentlemen. And did he do it? No, he did not. Nightmare, he went with Matoma. He didn't really offer much in that game. Kirkes, I mean, I don't know why Kanji backed in the Liverpool defence. It's always fraught with danger. I feel like Roberto got unlucky with Trossard because he got benched along with Saka and no one could have foreseen that. Trossard's definitely their best left-sided player, winger this season for me. I was a little bit shocked that he got benched, but well done, Gary. He wins again. It pains me to say it, but he won again. So on to the 6 players we picked. And for once, I've actually picked 6 different teams. Now, it's not a surprise. Actually, it is a surprise to see Romero as Gary's differential pick. Now, I had to ask Trig, because Trig obviously looks at Solio and review as well. And I refused to acknowledge the programs other than the fact that they're crap. So essentially, I had to ask whether Romero was a pick. And Trig didn't seem to think it was. So I don't know how Gary's ended up on Romero as his pick this week. But I reckon I concede. I think that Gary's unlucky. Romero got his goal in the Champions League. Unlucky. Kanji. This is how you know he's an FPL review merchant. Like Ilian and Dai is his differential this week. Review merchant. He might actually return, to be fair. I mean, it is Leeds at home. It is a pretty nice fixture. If he starts, he's probably going to be half decent. Trig's gone with Sade. I love the Sade pick this week. I think he's great. If I had spare transfers, I'd be bringing Sade in. I think he's unbelievably good. The underlying numbers for Sade are stupidly good as well, and I reckon there's a lot more returns in that man. Nightmare's gone with Creepy Jr. I hope he doesn't talk about that on the black box at 8 p.m. tonight, because I'd like to hear him try and convince me that Creepy Jr. is a good pick. Roberto's gone with Welbeck. Again, I don't think this is he's probably going to start against Fulham, let's be fair. But is he going to do anything? The answer is probably not. Now I've gone with a Hail Mary, right? Let's not be kidding ourselves. Let's not kid myself. Marmoush is just a stab in the dark. Like, if this comes in, it's going to be the stuff of legend. It all comes down to whether he starts. If he starts, this is an amazing pick. If he starts on the bench, it's 50-50 how many minutes he gets, and depending on how many minutes he gets, 10% chance he gets a return. So it's all down to my understanding that he starts this week, and that's why I picked him. I really believe that he starts against Wolves. Like, if you look at City's fixtures over the next 10 weeks or whatever you want to call it, the fixtures aren't good. Like, they haven't got any time to rest. Wolves is the best fixture to rest any players. That's what I'm betting on. That's why I've gone Marmoush. So on to the thing you can beat the D-Unit League. I've gone up to my highest rating this season, up to 680 in my own league. We're getting there. We're heading in the right direction. Maybe I can crack the top 100 by the end of the season. I know there's a lot of good people in the league. That's all I can tell you. Henry is unfortunately no longer leading FPL. He's down to number 3, but he is still leading the league. So well done to Henry. Hopefully he can turn it around this week. His moves just didn't work out for him last week. The manager of the game week 22 was Super Prems the third. A massive 80 points from Hamid. But I believe he played a chip. I'm not sure what chip he played, but he played a chip. The lowest score, unfortunately, in fact, this guy racked up a few awards. He also racked up the transfer tangle and the painful hit. His moves got minus 17 and he took a minus 8-point hit, and that meant the Atlantic A58, managed by Paul Quigley, got a low 30 points. He was the lowest scorer this week. Obviously, if you play a chip and get lower than that, for some weird reason, Live FPL doesn't seem to count it, so apologies if you want to win that award for the lowest score. Unlucky. Sharpest trader made a steal. Omar plus 20 points. He also was the hit hero. So he took a minus 4 and got plus 24 points from his moves. So well done, Omar. That's what we love to see on the channel. We love a hit and a hit paying off. Bench disaster. I think this has to be up there with one of the worst I've seen this season. Kevin left 37 points on his bench this week. That's very unfortunate, Kevin. London bound. I left 20. I felt bad about that. But when I saw your score of 37 points on the bench, I was like, Jesus. No good. No good. No chip warrior. Kero Vu, 69 points. Dalibor, well done. One move king. It's become a Vase. I quite like that name. It's become a Vase. Plus 9 points from John Vindaloo there. I think that's all the awards for this week. So well done to all those people. Hopefully you can feature in the coming weeks. And yeah, a lot of managerial weeks to give out yet. We're only 22 game weeks through. Another 16 to go off the top of my head. So the memes of the week. And this is my favourite. I'm going to indulge myself here, ladies and gentlemen. The cartel. Now, let's talk FPL. Andy. He's been exceptionally kissed this year. A lot of his moves that he's brought in have been very kissed. FPL Raptor, Kanji, FPL Gary View, they all had dirty 0-point Dom. Let's just have a moment of silence for these fools. The silence is over. So essentially, I'm coming. The reason why I'm coming, because Gary is going to keep picking horrendous picks like dirty 0-point Dom. And I know that I can catch him because I'm not going to be picking idiots like this. I can see the melons for what they are. And unfortunately, dirty 0-point Dom, it's just a laughing matter. There's nothing else you can say other than the fact that if you owned him, you're better off owning one of that watering can there. You get more points out of that watering can than dirty 0-point Dom. he's been woeful. He's got 2-0 points in the last 6 weeks. He's been unbelievably, horrendously bad, and I've been calling it pretty much all season. 1 return in the last 12 weeks now. And then this is also, I love having a bit of a laugh, and I hope you take this. If Andy ever sees this, I hope he takes it the right way. That's Andy on the bench. It might as well be Andy's face on that bench. He's still waiting for that Virgil bullet-like header. He's still waiting for that 15 points. It just feels like it's never going to come. Like, sometimes you just got to sit there and just laugh. Like, that's the only way you can do it. I said to Trig's got Virgil van Dijk in his team. I said, just bench him. He's useless. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't keep a clean sheet. He does now. They probably both return this week after I've just spent this whole segment taking the crap out of them. But just to ram home the point about dirty 0 point Tom and how horrendous this pick has been, I've produced this for you all. So the last 6 game weeks. Now, I just want to do that because that's pretty much when the cartel were peddling him, right? Like dirty 0 point Dom. It's been the last 6 week play. They bought him in for the amazing fixtures. The last 6 weeks, this man has gone at 0 attacking returns the last 6 weeks. Missed a penalty. Could have been an attacking return. Alas, it was not. He's gone at 0.36 XGI per game over the last 6 games. And he's averaged 1.5 points per game. Now, I was doing a disservice. I was telling a lie. I was peddling a story that dirty Dom was dirty 2 point Dom. I had it wrong, folks. I had it wrong. It was actually dirty 1.5 Dom. That's what it was. That is what it was. The dude's only averaging 3.4 points per game. And if you take out the start of the season when he was playing at right back and actually getting the DC contributions, in fact, all 4 of his games where he got the DC contributions were when he was at right back. If you take those games out, the dude's barely averaging 3 points per game for the entire season. I think it's hilarious how these fools, and that's all I can say, you are a fool if you promoted this player. He's a very good player in the UCL. He reminds me of one Sebastian Veron. Veron was amazing in the UCL. Horrendous in the Premier League. Dominic Szoboszlai, a very good player. The Premier League isn't quite his level. He needs to play those weaker teams in the UCL. Will we get an apology from Andy, Harry, I don't know who else promoted him, Raptor, all these people that promoted Szoboszlai as an amazing pick? Will we get an apology that he's been horrendous? The answer is we probably won't. And they will say it was a good choice, but a bad outcome, because that's what they always say, ladies and gentlemen. But Review and Solar are completely in the bin on that one. I just want to have my moment of fame, so there we go. All right, onto the card calls for Game Week 22. It did not do very well. Only got the 2 green, 4 red, and 2 draws. It's having a horrendous season. It started the season off so well. 70 correct now, 23 draws and 83 wrong. So it's actually going under 50%, which is just horrendous. But that goes to show sometimes your decisions are literally... So for example, this week I looked at taking a -4. I could either get rid of O'Reilly for Timber for a -4 this week, but then I'll be benching Timber, but he's in place for next week. Or I could move Bruno G out for Semenyo, captain him for a -4 this week, but then I'm probably benching Bruno Fernandes. So like it's a lot of the time it does come down to like 50-50 calls. Sometimes we get them right, sometimes we don't. That's why I love this segment. This is one of my favourite segments of the week. So onto the cards team, it's rolling. I asked the card if I wanted to make a transfer. It's not. It's up to 5.1 million. It's not doing very well. It's going with a captain of Thiago. So anyone that's wanting to back that in, it's captaining Thiago. It's still got triple city attack, so I don't think it's going to have a good week this week again. But it didn't want to make a move. I threw the card up in the air, asked if I want to make a transfer. It said no, so it's rolling. And it's going with Thiago captain. I mean, if that triple city attack comes in, I'm in for a horrendous week myself. But if it does what I expect it to do, the cards team's in the absolute mud this week. I might actually have to look at a Game Week 24 wild card. All right, so the random card questions this week. Remember, yes is that way up, no is that way up. Will and I feel like I've asked some relevant questions this week for the masses out there. Will at least two of, Haaland, Foden, Cherki, O'Reilly be benched? Apparently not. Maybe there'll be three. Will Everton keep a clean sheet at home? I bloody well hope so. Apparently they're not going to keep a clean sheet. Has Gary been thinking about Dirty Dom all week? No. There's a lot of no's here. This is disappointing. Is moving to 3 Chelsea assets a mistake? Apparently not. Is double United attack a good option from game week 24? Now, I'm interested in this one because I quite like the idea of it. Apparently that is good. That is a good. Should I take a hit this week to get ahead? Card's going to say yes, isn't it? Of course it does, yes. Man United to win 2 games on the bounce under Michael Carrick. Apparently, yes. Lock it in. Man United win. Will Salth Park finish on top of the Footium League? Oh, apparently not. Someone's going to beat it. Someone's going to beat Salth Park. Interesting. Gabriel to beat Haaland yet again this week. Apparently not. Haaland's going to beat Gabriel. There you go. Read into that what you want. All right, on to the actual card calls for game week 23. And some of these very relevant, I feel, this week. So, Foden versus Semenyo. It's going with Semenyo. Not a surprise. Mukiele versus Bowen. It's going with Mukiele. That's concerning. Bruno Fernandes versus Rice. Bruno Fernandes. The DCL unit versus Tarkowski. This is not good for my team. DCL unit. Van Heck versus Wilson. Hey, that's finally given me one. Wilson. Cash versus Hall. Hall. Lacroix versus Chalobah. And Marmouche versus Haaland. It's actually going with Haaland. There you go. So the card's sticking faith with the Haaland. Whether it comes in or not, folks, I don't know. But look, the card's been wrong more than it's been right in this show the last 5 weeks. So maybe we should just go the opposite. So Yuda Murat. Happy birthday to Marcus, 23rd, which was yesterday. Happy birthday to you. You're one of the regular blokes, and I know you get well involved in the WhatsApp chat. And happy birthday to Mohammed as well. Yours was also on the 22nd of January. So hopefully you enjoyed many happy returns and keep it going. In terms of actually should say game week 22 winners, not game week 21. It was Ozan, MFZ, and Lachlan both got, all 3 of them got 2 out of 10 accurate score predictions. If you want to get involved in that competition, hit up Murat. I'm going to come up with a prize for the end of the season for the person that finishes on top of that. I just got to look into that moving forward. But yeah, there is a reason to get involved. If you want to send your predictions in, join the WhatsApp chat. Murat does the hard work. I just do the reading out, and happy days. So on to my team then, and this is how we're lining up for game week 23. It's Sanchez in goal with Chalobah and a double Chelsea defence. We're going with Tarkowski as the captain in Monday Night Football. Gabriel and Rice are obviously playing Man United at home, with Bruno Fernandes also in the starting 11. Wilson was meant to be the captain, but he's going to be the vice-captain now. I've just re-thought about it and felt like Tarkowski's got a higher ceiling, I hope. Wirtz obviously starts her away at Bournemouth. Then we're going with a front 3 of Bowen, Haaland and Thiago. And we'll get onto my score predictions in a second, which will make more sense why I'm starting Bowen than Mukiele. But I dare say, if the fixture was reversed and it was Sunderland versus West Ham, I'd be benching Bowen and playing Mukiele. I'm literally playing the home fixture here. I understand that a lot of people will probably play Sunderland defence this week because it makes a lot of sense, but that's essentially what I'm going to do. And I'm benching O'Reilly. I've got no faith in him starting for Man City tomorrow. So, yeah, that's kind of why I've been weighing up a -4 for him. Just because I think that I just don't think he's going to be any good. I think he's going to get a 1-pointer. I mean, you never know. He could come off the bench and score a goal. I just don't think he beats out anyone else in the team this week. And then Bruno G's obviously on the bench. I was actually weighing up whether to bench Haaland for Bruno G. I was legit weighing it up. I was open to it, but Bruno G's ankle was enough to put me off. So there's no point doing that. If Haaland's on the bench, which I actually think that Haaland being benched is over 60%. I think I'm the only content creator out there that thinks he's actually legitimately a 50% chance minimum of getting benched. I just can't see, I don't know. I just feel like he needs a rest. Like, I've watched City, like, every weekend and every game over this Christmas, New Year period. And the dude just looks shot. Like, most of that City team looks shot. They look like they need a reset, a rest, a week off. I don't know. That's just my gut feel anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the team this week. See what we're doing. We'll see what we do tomorrow. There are price changes happening tonight. Thankfully, Timber's not one of them. But there are a couple of others that potentially are, and that might force my hand into a -4, potentially. So my score predictions are game week 23, and yeah, this is what I'm going with. I don't think it's going to be, in fairness, I've actually predicted quite a few goals, and I think I might have predicted too many yet again. But I think West Ham smashed Sunderland. I don't know why I think that. I just feel like I watched Sunderland away against Brentford recently, and I just felt like they were poor away from home. And I feel like they have been poor away from home, but they're very good at home. And I feel like West Ham having beaten Spurs away last week, there's got to be a little bit of momentum there. I feel like West Ham get another win. So I for that reason, I've just got to back in Jared Bowen. So I feel like they win 3-1. I could be completely wrong. 10 minutes until Footium kickoff. Yes, I know. I need to hurry this up. We've got 9 minutes. Burnley versus Spurs. There goes my alarm to remind me about Footium as well. Look at that. Right on cue. Burnley versus Spurs. I'm going with a Spurs win. No confidence there, but I think Burnley will score. Fulham versus Brighton. I'm going with another Fulham win. I can't believe I keep predicting Fulham wins, but I am. Colm, that's for you, baby. I hope you're watching. 2-1 there. Man City versus Wolves. I think it's close. I don't think there's much in it. I reckon Man City win by a goal. I'm going 2-1. I reckon Wolves will score. Bournemouth versus Liverpool again. I think this will be very close. I think Bournemouth score. I think Liverpool win the game. 2-1. A lot of 2-1s here. Yeah, it always scares me when I'm going 2-1s. Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. I don't think this one will be close. I think Brentford will wipe the floor of Nottingham Forest, who I think look a little bit tired at the moment. I think they just need to be shown the door. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Originally, I had this at 0-0. I felt like this game could be a 0-0. But I'm backing in Chelsea. I don't know why I'm backing in Chelsea, but I'm backing in Chelsea 2-0 there. Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Nightmare said this result, no chance. They played on a 0-0 draw at the beginning of the season. Aston Villa are one of those teams that play in games where you think there'll be lots of goals and then there's none. There's no logic behind this. I'm just going a 0-0. Arsenal versus Man United. I think both teams will score. I think Man United will be pretty difficult to beat under Michael Carrick. I think they'll be well up for it. They'll be buoyed by the Man City result. They'll have very much confidence they can go there. They matched him at the beginning of the season. Gyökeres is probably going to play for Arsenal, which means that Man United won't have to do that much defending other than on set pieces. So I reckon they've got enough to trouble them. I reckon Mbeumo, Bruno, Ahmad will score a goal. One of them will score a goal against Arsenal. And I'm also going Everton to beat Leeds 2-0. Maybe I'm influenced by the fact I owned Tarkowski and I'm captaining him. But I'm going for an Everton clean sheet and a nice little win there. So one of my hot takes for game week 23, Man City versus Wolves could well be a disappointment, and I would be avoiding Haaland captain. These are my hot takes. I'm avoiding him. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying you should consider it. Because he's not done much the last however many weeks he's been. Man United to help keep the title race alive. I reckon, as I said, Man United will get the draw. Man City will get a very narrow win. It will close the gap. It will hopefully make it a little bit more exciting, because the last thing we need is a runaway champion. Like, Man City just have to win. They have to win to make it a title race. I'm sick of watching. Like, last season was not enjoyable. The title was over by April. Well, before April. It was probably more like March. It was just no good. Bowen and Wilson will reward my faith in them. They will come home with the biscuits tomorrow during the Saturday watch-along. I'm fairly confident. I hope I'm confident. Defenders to once again to dominate the attacks of the Premier League teams. It's been the season of defenders. Honestly, back five might be better than a bloody front three. In fact, actually, it is better than a front three. It's probably better to play a back five. Dirty Dom to return after the battering. I'm calling it now. I reckon he returns this week. I don't know why. I reckon he outscores Haaland this week. I was joking around with Luke in our admin chat earlier and basically said, I reckon Dom outscores Haaland this week. I legitimately do. I feel like he could get 3 points and Haaland might get 2. Burnley and Spurs, that game could be anything. I've predicted a 2-1 win to Spurs. It could easily be a 2-1 win to Burnley. It could be just a bunch of anything, let's be fair. Who really knows what's going on there? But, oh, there goes my second alarm. That means I need to hurry up. There we go. A lot of games this week, as I said, are hard to call. I've got a lot of 2-1s in there. I'm not confident on a lot of games this week. And that comes down to the FDR. A lot of teams just are so inconsistent. They're not getting the points done from week to week. It's really hard. No team is in good form. No team at the moment is in good winning form. The top 3 last week didn't score a goal between them. It's been one of the most bizarre seasons. It's also been one of the most boring seasons I can remember in a long time as well. But that's what it is. The Premier League, maybe we'll turn it into a defensive league. I hope it doesn't last for too long because it's way better when goals are going in, when strikers are scoring goals, when there's monster holes for the attackers and not the defenders, because it's just more exciting to watch. So on to the Footium race to glory, and look, Murat is winning. Murat is winning at the moment. We're 4 games through the 22-game season. St. Nord Town, 24 plus goal difference. Now, Murat's going to run into a few issues at the moment because his team is getting a little bit airy-fairy in terms of the tiredness, and he might start getting a few injuries. But we're about to do, at the very end of this, you don't have to hang around for this. For anyone that does want to hang around, we're going to do a live Footium watch-along because Salth Park are about to kick off in 4 minutes. You can see there, that's my team down there in number 11 spot. There we go, number 11. And we're 1 game behind, and we've got 16 goal difference. So if I win 8-0 tonight, I will go to the top. So I've sent out an attacking lineup. We're going to watch it. And yeah, if you want to join or whatever and check it out for yourselves, the barcodes are on the screen there. I'm not actually getting sponsored to do this. I'm just doing it because this is the chance to win yourself a D-Unit shirt. And I don't even know what I've done with the D-Unit shirt, but it's here somewhere. It's here somewhere. But you can win one of them personalised with your name and number on the back. I know Luke is very keen to get a certain name and number on the back of his if he wins. I don't know what Murat's going to get, but I reckon I can guess. All right, I'm going to answer some questions, and we're going to go live into the live Footium watch-along in 3 minutes' time. So any questions, whack them in now. I'm going to do it now because Nightmare's on at 8 p.m. on the Black Box, and I'm going to go and watch that after the Footium watch-along. So hang around here. We're going to do that, and I'm going to answer some questions in the meantime. And yes, Luke, I'm very keen. I'm very aware of that time. I've set so many alarms to make sure I don't miss out. The Hammers are going down. Yeah, maybe they could win. Sunderland legit. West Ham going out. Yeah, fair. A good call, Pete. Like the riskiness. Yep. Hope the Brentford score is correct. Yeah, I agree, Andrew. I think that I feel like it could be as well. 80 watch for you like. Yes, please, Murat. Harry Wilson brace would be nice. I'll be here for it 100%. I think I predict the wins for Burnley, Wolves and Bournemouth this game week. Nice. That'd be a nice sucker. It would be legit. It'd pay a bit of money as well, to be fair. I fancy a cheeky Bournemouth win. I think Liverpool win about 5-2. In fairness, it could be. Bournemouth are not a very good defensive team, let's be fair. It's just, one of those things. I love trolling Liverpool. Joe Roll predicts 3-1 to Bournemouth. Love it. I agree that Haaland captaincy is no longer the only decision, but not this weekend. Wolves at home, yeah, they are better, but this would... Yeah, I agree. There is some part of me that is concerned, but I'm chasing, and I feel like this is a chase I want to take on. Do we cheer for Darius or his opponent? Can't pick Timber or Lewis Potter. I know it's risk playing. All right, let's have a look. Timber versus Lewis Potter. It's going with Timber, unfortunately. Bench boost to Bradford, Bruno F. Collins and Mukiele. Don't mind it. Forest for the win. Honestly, they might win, to be honest. Taking my chances with Bruno G starting. Do I have Mukiele or Cash as sub 1 just in case Bruno G misses out completely? I'd have Mukiele sub 1. I'd have Mukiele sub 1 in that case, 100%. I think Ballard will return this week. He could. I don't expect West Ham to keep a clean sheet. I think Sunderland assets, from an attacking perspective, well and truly good value this week. Well and truly good value. All right, any questions you got, keep them coming in. I'm going to, for all the people that I upload this for later on audio, I'm going to pause it there. But I'm not going to end the stream. We're going to go into the live Footium watch along, which is about to start in 1 minute time. Can the boys finish this stream off with a bit of brilliance for me? Let's have a look. All right, let's go here. All right. We've got to wait for it to start. We're about 1 minute away from starting. If you've got any more FPL questions, by all means, keep them in. Otherwise, we are going to go into a live Footium watch along. This is my team. You can watch the game live, which is actually pretty cool. You can make subs and stuff like that, but it's all a little bit risk. Starting Boomer or Harry Wilson? I'd start Harry Wilson, to be honest. Ekatike to Thiago or Jack Grealish to Sade? Oh, I feel like I'd go Thiago. Luke. All right, we should be good. Here we go. It's loading up. Next game. I can actually have a drink now while we watch. I've fielded a strong team today. I've got a perfect team chemistry. We should be wiping the floor of these idiots we're about to play. If we can get 8-0 or whatever. Yes, keep asking questions. If you've got FPL questions, whack them in the comments. I will respond. I am watching the chat while we're doing the live footy and watch along. Oh, come on. Where we got? We're missing the action. It happens. It always does this when it's like loading up. I missed there we go, view match. I always miss the first 5 minutes. Half the time there's already been a goal or something happened that I don't know about. We haven't missed anything. That's good. All right, the boys looking good. What's the opposition's line? Oh, here we go. Shot by Mohammed. Oh, block. We should smoke this lot, surely. Star João Pedro seems to be going under the radar, or Senesi is probably guaranteed DC. I think I'd start JP. I think I'd start João Pedro in that case. 100%. Yep, I'd do João Pedro. Start Gary or the Delusion Unit. Delusion Unit all day long. Significant higher points potential. Also runs the risk of significant lower points potential, but I'd rather risk it for the biscuit. Tell you what, the boys haven't started very well here. I mean, Mohammed had an early shot, but that's about all we've seen. We haven't even touched the ball. Would you bench Enzo, Rogers, or Dirty Dom? That's just, is that a joke question? Dirty Dom. Is Gabriel a good captaincy? Yes, I think he is. I think Gabriel's a really good captaincy again this week. 100%. Best 5-man Arsenal defenders up to wildcard 32. 5 non-Arsenal defenders. Chalobah. Collins got really good fixture. He's got a couple of mid fixtures the next 5, but then he goes into a really good fixture run. Honestly, it's probably Palace defence. Munoz is a really good shout. Mukiele's also a good shout. I think those would be the 4. I'd even go double Chelsea defence, to be honest, for their run of fixtures. I'm actually weighing up whether to go triple Chelsea defence in my own team. I just think that it might be the best way to get ahead, like stacking wise and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my plan potentially with that. Shall I sell Foden to Rogers or sell Potts to Ndiaye? I feel like the Potts to Ndiaye one gives me a bit more confidence. That I can't believe I'm saying that, but I feel like it's not the worst move in the world. Oh, come on. Here we go. Free kick. This is where we score a ball. Frank Boyer's over it. Frank! Frank's so good. He averages a goal or assist a game. So when he gets the ball, I get a bit excited because I feel like okay, why is he shooting from there? Stupid idiot. Tarkowski, Bruno G to Sade, don't mind it at all. Haven't been able to sell the... Yeah, I know, that's the problem. I feel like Dirty Dom's one of those players that's just going to linger. If you've got him, you're going to be stuck with him. Like, you know when you get stuck with someone? I just feel like he's one of them players where you're like going, oh, he's not a priority sell because he only costs 6.6. So, like, it's not like there's huge money left in there. But he's just been woeful. Like, legit, he's just been woeful, hasn't he? But I hope you listen to what you mean. Any chance of these idiots shooting? My main man D-Unit. I'm chasing rank and captaining Thiago. Who to bench? Block. Who to bench and who to start? Hall, Van der Ven. I'd start Hall. Bruno G's not going to play, so he's an easy benching. I'd play Cherky. You've got to play Cherky again. It's really hard. I'm so biased because of my own team here. So I'm just not sure. I don't feel like my advice is overly good because I'm playing Bowen, so I'm like, you should bench Alderete, but like that's just my own belief. And I'm like, you should bench DCL Unit because I'm playing Tarkowski. Can Captain Enzo be a shout? I wouldn't have thought so this week, but yeah, I don't know. So it was telling me to bring in Elliot Anderson for Dirty Dom to get... I don't mind that, to be honest. Anderson's actually a much better pick than Dirty Dom. I'm legitimately shocked. The people that went to Dirty Dom, why they didn't just go to Elliot Anderson, because Elliot Anderson's been really good. What's going on here? The game's frozen. What's going on? Let's reload that. I'm going to miss a goal here, aren't I? Goal! Yes, we did. We missed a goal. That's why it froze. Ching with the opener. Team with the assist. 1-0. That's good. Salth Park up and running. Hi, my team for week is Rad, Timmer, Mukiele, O'Reilly, Saka, Bruno, and Cherky, Wilson, Ekatike, DCLU. I feel like O'Reilly's an issue in your team, and you could easily play Anderson over him. Which sounds ridiculous, but I feel like you could easily do that. I think I'd actually start Anderson over O'Reilly this week. He's been class in UCL though. Yeah, I know. He's been great in the UCL. UCL fantasy, dirty 2-point dom has been like dirty 10-point dom. But alas, the Premier League is not the UCL, which is, what's going on here? Clear that out of there. Who scores most this week, Dom or Anderson? I think Anderson. We're all stuck with 14 mil Haaland. When does his price drop? Good question. People are selling him. He was the 7th most sold forward this week, and he hasn't been in the 7th most sold forwards all season. Another block. Come on, boys. Put it away. Stop piss farting around down there. He is 15 million Haaland. My plan is DCL to Thiago. Pretty good plan, I reckon. Tell you what, Ching should have had 3 goals by now. No, this is what I don't like when we concede free kicks, because we just piss fart around with it, the back line there. Thoughts on James Hill as a cheap rate? I don't mind it. James Hill, I think, is going to get a few minutes in that Bournemouth team. Whether he starts every week, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like he's actually a half-decent option. I don't mind him at all. I think he could be pretty good moving forward. Oh, man, these guys should be smoking them. What are they doing? I swear this guy has played a reserve team as well, and I'm not smoking him. This happened the last time I did a Footium watchalong. I dominated the game and won 1-0. It was like a really stressful last 20 minutes. To be fair, Bravery's side, it's such a tough week to go against Haaland. Most picks of sticky fix. Yeah, they do. I would agree with that. Would you do bench boost to Bravka, Foden, Bowen, and Matoma? I don't mind that bench boost, to be honest with you. I don't mind that. That's actually a pretty good bench. The thing is, I'm not convinced that Foden gets huge minutes this week. That's the issue more than anything else. James Hill is 100% yes. Yeah, he actually does. You're right. That's mad. That's actually mad, isn't it? Mad. I'm not catching Murat's team if we don't sit there and start putting the goals away. Hurry up, you lot. They're slacking. They keep giving away free kicks. Oh no, it's a free kick for us. What am I on about? Here we go. This is where we get a chance to shoot. Cross it. I'll win a free kick. Oh, this has got to be a shot, surely. There we go. Oh, another save. DCL to Thiago. I need to know how Murat has played. I don't know. I've watched Murat's teams. I don't know how he's doing it. He's killing it. I've no idea how he's doing it, to be honest. It's mad. Absolutely mad. Also, these guys should be smoking them. I don't know what we're doing. Like, they just need to get the ball in the box. There we go. Yellow card for the opposition. That should hopefully make him a bit more nervous. Oh, here we go. That's where they should be shooting. Why are they not shooting there? Useless. Look at me getting all stressed over a game. Start Tarkowski or DCL. I would start Tarkowski. I'm captaining Tarkowski, so I think that I feel like Tarkowski at the worst, if it goes pear-shaped right, Tarkowski is probably getting a minimum 4 points. Because he's going to get the appearance points. He's going to get the DC. I don't think they're going to... Bower! He normally scores disappointing. I thought he was going to score. I feel like Tarkowski is the one. Out of those two, there's just more points for defenders this season. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. He could be on a mission, but he also might try too hard. That could also happen. Could Gahey just be one to hold? I think if you got Gahey, I'd be tempted to hold. I don't have him, so I'd be tempted to hold. Mate, we keep getting free kicks and doing nothing with them. I think Ekitike could expose that Bournemouth backline as he did at the beginning. So yeah, he could be right. Here we go, Boyer! Oh, another save, man. This dude's normally clinical. What's he doing? They want to make my life misery, don't they? They want to make the live watch-along frustrating. So I watch a Man United all over again. Is Everton great at home? To be honest, actually, half of Everton's clean sheets have come at home and half of them, have come away from home. So, like, it's really 50-50. There we go. 2 goals. We're up 2-0 now. There we go. The goals are starting to fly in. Verhoeven with the goal. Who got the assist? Does Boyer keep his streak alive? No, he doesn't. Mohammed with the assist from right wing back. What a man. Look like honey. Is Emperor a treat? Avi, my highest player, has a 32 rating. The squad is mad. Yeah, they give you... here we go. Ching. 3-0. There we go. Murat, the D-Unit's coming. The D-Unit is coming. He's hunting you down. We need another 5 goals in this game. Can we get another 5 goals? Ching's on a brace. Boy's still not been involved. He's normally good for a goal contribution a game as well. It's only that. What game? Yeah, this is Footium. Footium. If you want to go back and check it out, there's a link in the stream description. Yeah, just thought I'd do a live watch along at the end of the stream. So anyone that wants to ask any more FPL questions, they can. Just keep coming. Keep putting them in the chat, and I'll get to them. A player you most fear this game week: Haaland captain, and Semenyo. So if it was just a player, it'd be Semenyo, and it is probably Haaland captain. I know that the logic says that you should captain him, but I've watched Man City and I've not been impressed. And I feel like there is a world where he starts on the bench and comes on for 1 point, and I don't want that. I'm betting on my beliefs more than anything else. Yeah, that's where we're at. You're saying it's so stuff like I want to buy my team, but I can't because I'm captaining Sade. Sade's really good. I'm benching Haaland. I would have benched Haaland if Bruno G was playing, by the way. I was actually pretty set on it when I saw it. Like, there we go, half-time, 3-0. Let's make a few changes here. Some of the boys are getting a little bit tired. Ashenov needs to stay fit because he's very important tomorrow. I'm playing the second top side tomorrow, so I need to make sure that some of these blokes actually show up in decent condition. I need to take Rays off. Okay. I need to change formation. Yeah, that's the one. All right, we're going to go there. Gang's going to come on. Yep, that'll do. Boyer. Boyer's going to score now. Boyer in attacking midfield is just dominant. Yep, that's what we do. Second half. Lock that in. Get Rays off, Mohammed off. I need them for tomorrow's game. We'll play the rest. Everyone else can be rotated tomorrow. There we go. Some couple of manual changes. I'm benching Haaland. Logic says have a drink. Exactly. Have a drink. Win the league, Gavin. You keep your team. Rolling this week. Nice. What's your take on team value importance? To be honest, team value, I'm always really rate. I've got stupid team value at the moment. But this is not a season for team value. The better players are actually the cheaper players this year. I'm really intrigued to see what FPL Towers do next year. Will they raise the prices of like Anderson, Rice, who's another one? Like all those ones that are getting all the points. Will they make them more expensive than Palmer and Saka, who have underwhelmed this year? I actually think DC has created a beast that they will not be able to cure at the end of the season. It's either going to go one of two ways. They're either going to overcompensate, make everyone stupidly high, and DC is going to die a miserable death next year and it won't be anywhere near as prevalent as teams play different football. Hopefully they play different football next year because if more set pieces is going to do my head in watching it anyway. I feel like I don't know how they fix the prices at the end of the year. Like there is no way you can have Saka at 10 million next year and Rice at 7. Like, Rice has to be more expensive than Saka. But then it could also go the other way. Saka might all of a sudden have an amazing year again. And then all of a sudden he looks massively underpriced. It's a really weird situation. I don't know how they fix it, like, next season at all. When it's so bad. Murat's going to come unstuck. Murat's team needs mass rotation. Yeah, he's using the force. I have great bench cover if Nunes and Haaland miss out. Will Wilson? Yeah, that's very good bench cover, Jack. Gabriel will be 7.5 mil next season. Yeah, you would think Gabriel's 100% 7.5 next year. Team value might be crucial. Salah will turn. You'd like to hope, but Salah historically post AFCON and this time of the year, he normally has a dip. So I'm not sure. I don't know. You could make subs at halftime and just presume. No, you could do it yourself, Colm. So if you're watching the game, you can manually do it. Luke and I were watching his game, I think, like the other day. It was quite interesting. We were all watching Luke's game, and Watson was having a worldie. Watson scored like 5 goals and got 2 assists. I was like, who is this guy? The dude literally was just tearing it up. 8 mil in a defensive bid, exactly. And I feel like that's what would turn people off. Like, Rice will be 8.5. Will anyone buy him next year? That's the really key question. All right, here we go. Second half up and running. Can the boys finish the job? We've changed formation. We've gone 3-4-3 attacking. We've done away with the wing backs. How quickly can we get the ball forward and score? Where is Boyer? Boyer will be hungry for a goal. Harvey. Disappointing. Oh, here we go. Harvey again. I hate it. How do you get double saves in that position on the field? They must just be the worst finishers. Harvey's been such a squanderous idiot. He's done nothing. 11 hours. Yeah, that's right, Murat. Your team plays earlier than mine. Oh, here we go. Harvey in the box. No, he's useless. I'm taking him off again. When do I play? I play at 3 a.m., unfortunately, every day this season, which is annoying. Because, like, I'm back at work next week. I'm not going to be watching the game. So, like, this is one of the... Until Tuesday morning, I'm going to be watching the games. And then post then, I'm not watching. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night to watch a half an hour football game. Which is annoying because I can't affect the game if I'm not watching it. But, yeah, it is what it is. You press on tactics column. It's on the second top bar. It says, what? Oh, that's the transfer window, Murat. So whether I want to make any new signings or whatever, I don't need to, I don't think. What do you think of 1 point per... I don't mind that. I think that is somewhere where they might go. David De Gea and goal. I know. Stupid, isn't it? Look at the stats in this game. Have they even had a shot? It's 13 shots to 2 and it's only 3-0. It's like watching Rahi's team. Like, how's the ball gone from that off a throw-in? He's going to score, isn't he? Oh, good save. Lawan. Legendary goalkeeper, folks. Legendary goalkeeper getting the job done. Preserving the clean sheet. Man, imagine buying Miley and Anderson at 7.5. Oh, that would be... Yeah, that'd be mad, wouldn't it? That would be mad. Legit, that would be mad. Crazy times we live in, I tell you. Crazy times. I tell you what, this second half has been unbelievably pathetic. Yordanov, his debut in the team, he's done now. Absolutely now out of. What is he doing? Needs to pull up his socks and get into the game, man. Oh, I've seen enough of Harvey. Harvey needs to go in the bin. Actually. There we go. We're bringing Tot on. Totten's going to score. I still can't believe my team is just so incapable of burying teams in Footium. I always end up like just whatever. Look at this. How are we conceding the ball in that part of the thing? Get rid of it, you idiots. Oh, who got booked? Oh, that's all right. One of those. How do you know one is legendary Footium? It says, TM. Oh, how do you miss from there? How do you miss from there? It's literally on the goal line. How's he not scoring? I used to love it when Hazard scored an incredible solo goal and I was getting an FPL haul at the same time. Can't do that when Caicedo makes a tackle. It's like legit. It is a bit like that, isn't it? It's crazy. All right, I've made all 3 subs. So, I mean, what are we doing? We're going to concede a goal here at this rate. Keep letting them have chances in the box. Need to get Tot in the box. These guys are no good. It might be because I'm playing all three of them out of position because I've just played a 3-4-3. I've got a left midfielder, a right midfielder out there. And I feel like the team's gone to crap. Also, I need to fix this mic. Remind me to fix this mic tomorrow. Here we go. Tot. Oh, Tot. Shoot, man. Useless. How do you know one is... yeah, it's... Hold on. I'll show you. One sec. Here we go. Boyer. Boyer. He always scores. And he scores. Boyer keeps up the record. 4-0. That's why I moved him into attacking midfield. When I move him to attacking midfield, he's like Law. He is as good as Law in attacking midfield. There we go. 4-0. Murat. We need 4 more goals. 4 more goals to catch Murat at the top. Can it be done? I don't know if it can, but we're going to give it a go. Used to love... I'm going to be kicking myself if Ekatike somehow gets benched tomorrow. You wouldn't have thought so, surely. Dr. Truz, the voodoo doctor, needs to cast a spell on Murat's team. I agree. Good point, that com. Will Wilson stay? I think he will. I think he does stay the window. My gut feel. Chemistry, awesome. My highest chemistry this season was okay. Well, you're playing a few blokes out of position. You should be able to get great with all your teams with a little bit of luck. You just have to find the right formation. Why are we allowing the ball to go in the box there? Come on, Jordanov. Sort yourself out, mate. Oh, here we go. This is when Boyer gets the ball in the box. Okay, maybe not. All right, this is when we have a shot. Someone have a shot. How are these guys? That's 3 yellow cards for the opposition now. Here we go. Toll's going to have a shot. No, he's not. He's going to win a corner. Why is that guy on corners? I wish you could pick your corner takers. Like some of these guys, when certain players have corners, no good. Oh, goal for Hoven with a worldie from 30 yards out, folks. 5-0. Murat's getting nervous. Murat's getting nervous. D-Unit's team's coming. I have no left back, but 5 right backs. I think so. Silver doesn't want him to go. Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it anymore. Just think a hole is finally on the cards for Ekatike again and Olympian as Captain Haaland. Very good. That makes me more confident in the Haaland non-captaincy. The fact that Olympian has done it. Come on, 3 more goals, boys. We've got 21 minutes. 21 minutes. Another 8 minutes of a live watch along here. Can the boys deliver the goods? I mean, we're smoking this team now. Like smoking them. I mean, we should be smoking them. They should be way better than them. This could be the biggest win of the season. I haven't played yet, Chief. Murat, you've already played. You played earlier today. You're a game in front of me. Who would you sell Grealish for, D? He's 6.4 million. I've got 2 million in the bank. Who are your other midfielders? Who are the other midfielders? Yeah, I don't know. They gave me 3 keepers when I started. I just sold them. I was like, why do I need 3 keepers, man? I need 1, and you need to rotate your keeper, I reckon, every 7 games for like 1 game. And then they're good. Like, you literally only need 2 goalkeepers. Like, Lawan's been my goalkeeper every single game, other than last game, because I trained him twice. So he needed a bit of a rest, or else he might have potentially got himself injured. 29-point bench boost. That's a very nice bench boost, Nigel. At least I can play my right backs and left backs. Yeah, exactly. The right backs and left backs, that's the good thing. If they're like the opposite side, they normally do pretty well. All right, Boyer, come on. Boyer. Hernandez. Oh, come on. That should mean 6. Sloppy. And this team's there for the killing. I might need to up the tactics. Hold on. Here we go. Boyer. Boyer. Poor effort. Should have done better. Should have done better, mate. All right, this is where I'm going to flog the crap out of my forward line. We're going to go ultra attacking here. Let's see if we can scam a few more goals here, make it a bit more interesting. I think I go Ekatike 2. He's been unlucky not to get 2 returns a week. Cheers, Colm. Don't jinx your team a lot. Pay your salary, Chief. Come on. Get it out of there. Mids, why are we letting them shoot? Mids, Rice, Bruno G, Enzo, Lafayette, Grealish and Cherky. Yeah, I'd sell him probably. I would go to... You've already got Bruno, so... You've already got Rice. Let me get it out of there. What are they doing? I think it's 6. Well, that's a goal for me. I don't know why it's saying the opposition, but that should be me. So that's 6-0. What would I go for? I feel like I'd go for Caicedo. No, you've already got Enzo. You've already got a Chelsea mid. Wilson. Wilson's the one. Would you bench boost and Bumo, Senesi, Munoz and Dubravka? If I was confident Munoz was starting, I'd definitely think about it. Here we go. Free kick. Here we go. This could be 7, folks. Top with a free kick. It's got to be a shot. How's he not shot from there? Why is he not shooting for the idiot? He comes on, he delivers that. Here we go. Top. And he gets it saved. Useless. Useless idiot. Would you play Mukiele or... I'd play Anderson this week. It is a very tough decision. I feel like Anderson's probably more likely to get the DC, so I'd probably be inclined to start him. Debating captain this week. It's currently on Gabriel. I may change it to Thiago. Another save. What is it with this Johnson guy always showing up with a... I don't know what's going on there. King should have had a hat-trick today. How many shots has that man had? He's had too many shots and not enough goals. Not enough goals. We should be 8-0. How many shots have we had in this game? 22 shots for 6 goals. Criminal. I mean, the boys are getting the job done. Division 7, we're in Division 6 next season, boys. Rack it in. Oh, what's he having a shot from there? Why is he having a shot from the centre halfway line, idiot? Hey, it's Footium. It's Footium. There's a link to it in the thing. Quite a few of the boys are playing it. It's actually really addictive once you start playing it. It's like watching a little dot and you're just praying for the dot to do something. I've just had a tinker now my chemistry. There we go. 4th match is 9 p.m. kickoff. 1.5 hours time. Very nice. I think I'm locked for this week then for Braga, Coyote, Nunes, Gabriel. Nunes might not play. I don't think Nunes plays. So you've got Rodgers and Wilson on the bet. Yeah, it's fine. I'm working on a team now. This means I will... No, you don't have to... You just need to rotate them, Murat. You don't have to rotate the whole team. You just got to rotate a few of them so they stay fresh. Otherwise, you can see here on the right-hand side, all these guys, they're going down. Like, Boyer's going to need a rest tomorrow. Tiam's going to need a rest tomorrow. I've got a few other blokes that have been resting today that are going to come into the team tomorrow. Like, here we go. Ching, someone... another save, man. We're going to win the game 6-0, aren't we? Disappointing. I can't score more than 6 goals this season in a game. Last season I scored 10 a couple of times. Here we go. Block. That's going to be the game. That has to be the game, surely. It's not. We're still going. Shoot. No, that's it. Full time, 6-0. That is the end of the live footy and watch along. The D-Unit remains top. He moves within a couple of places of Murat. Let's have a look at the overall leaderboard now after that game. Up to 3rd. He's closing in. Murat's only 2 goals in front. It's a pretty tight race. I don't know who Widgebid to get, whoever that is. They're only 2 goals off Murat. Rahi's down here, Logbig United. Luke's team, very good goal difference, but sloppy yesterday. During the work interview, Luke was definitely taken advantage of and dropped a crucial point. So that's interesting. So yes, keep playing. It's good fun. I will see you all tomorrow for the deadline stream and the live watch-alongs, and we will be doing my watch-along during the football tomorrow because it will happen during the Bournemouth and Liverpool game tomorrow, and we'll cover the Salth Park road to glory and the hunting down of the Murat. And the Murat is firmly in the gun. The laser has been targeted and we are coming. We are coming, baby. All right. I'll see you all tomorrow. Go and join the Black Box later. Nightmares on there with Az. He should be hopefully really good tonight. In fact, he will be really good tonight. Go and check it out. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for joining. You guys have been legendary. Thank you very much to Luke. Absolute champ, mate.